All right, folks, we back at it. We back in the groove of it. Back in the groove thing. All right, I tried to get funny, but this topic ain't funny at all. But I tried to make it light, at least for a second.
Yeah.
We missed a couple cycles and everything that's going on, but we catching up. We back into the groove of it. We're gonna give you what we got, but what we got, we're gonna give it to you. Deshaun Watson is under fire, is under siege, and he's being blitzed more than he's ever been with the Houston Texans.
Which is saying something because he's been one of the most
sacked
and hit quarterbacks in the last 3 seasons. Continue.
So not only has Deshaun Watson watched his entire NFL career and team kind of crumble around him because of a imploding head coach and a misguided management, but now he has to essentially sit there and watch his life crumble around him as well. For those of you who don't know, Deshaun Watson has been accused of sexual misconduct. Now, I'm gonna take this as serious as I can, because when it comes to like sexual misconduct, sexual aggravated assault, sexual assault, and rape, they're very different things, but they fall under the same umbrella. You did something that you had no business doing against somebody's permission. Now, this isn't Bill Cosby, but this isn't locker room talk. We don't bring up his name, but you know who I was talking about. So he's falling somewhere in between Cosby and saying inappropriate things. Where it is not for me to pass judgment. I will be saying several things that you probably won't agree with. And if you don't like it, tough. I mean, it's freedom of speech, whatever. So,
well, it does let us know if we actually get comments on these things that, we do have people listening to us. So.
Yeah. So if you disagree, then, let us know how you disagree and whatever you want to say. Like I said, like I used to say on all the shows, just at me. That's all you got to do. And we can have a discussion. Now, if you want to take it further than that, I am a card-carrying member of the NRA. I also have my certified concealed weapons license as well. We could take it that far as well. But just add us. We can have an open dialogue. Let's talk about what's going on. So, Walt, the floor is yours.
Well, boy, I wasn't expecting you to.
I gotta gather what I want to say, because I don't want it to come across the way I know it can come across.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, then let me try to be as calculated, since this is actually on I basically sent him a tablet of topics, America. So. He's doing the smart thing. Normally, I get the chance to defer, but I can't when I've been sitting on this.
You opened this door.
Yeah, I did. And you know what? This is the thing about this show, America. The same way that we've taken stances about things we felt, when we've seen things go wrong, we're not going to shy away, even from a kid like this who has seemed to really be destined to be in the spot that he was in before these things. So I don't know if I'm going to take words out of Chris's mouth or not, but I'm going to speak from my heart on a couple things. First and foremost, there's no excuse for any of it. I don't care if you make $160 million. I don't care if you make $5. You know what I mean? Like, no means no, and whatever it means. And I want that to be my overall message in this. Is that I am not here, and I think Chris said it best, I'm not here to tell anybody that something did or didn't happen to them. Because I know what it feels like, not in these type of, I know what it feels like when somebody tells me I did something that I didn't do. Or if I did something and I didn't know I did that to somebody. I understand that from just basic, human psychology in itself, you know what I mean? So I'm with that. So any of these ladies, if you were harmed or psychologically, physically, emotionally, I do feel for you, okay? But I will say this. And this is not me coming off of Talking Heads, because trust me, I've listened to a little bit of Shay a little bit of Skip, none of First Take. This is just flat out from James Walton. And you have to understand this, America, and how this plays out. Let's not even talk about the dynamic of now we're at the point now where you've got these 21 cases against him, civil cases. It took them weeks to put this to the police. Okay, now we've got 18 women that have massaged him and said he did no such thing to me, which of course makes all of us go, what do these girls look like? I get that, which is terrible in itself. That's very misogynist in what I just said, and I understand that. But that's the way it's going to go, and that's basically what they put us to. So you got 21 people that have Instagram messages. So interesting that Instagram is in play in all this. And you've got 18 women that said he did no such thing to me. Let's even go beyond all that. Let's go back to what has been, to me, the crux of this entire nation more than ever since my parents were kids, okay? This guy said he wanted out from an organization that has been run by, when we talking old South money, we talking some old South money. And at the end of the day, he's not the first one. And I'm not going to put him on this level when I say this. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm from Chicago. I know the history. And this movie is probably going to win the Oscar. Judas and the Black Messiah. This is not new. This is not new. Whether he did it or he didn't do it, and in the society that we live in now more than ever, if Fred Hampton Sr., is Fred Hampton Jr., which is in itself the most unbelievable story that we still have a piece of that history because he survived all that.
Mm-hmm.
So go look that up. I'm thankful for Dave Chappelle and Block Party. That's how I knew about everything, thanks to Mos Def and Dave Chappelle, because Fred Hampton Jr. came on that movie. And, you know, they were like, dude, Fred Hampton Jr. I was like, oh, this is back when you could do it on your phone. I was like, oh, shy, Black Panthers, and I'm not going to ever act like I'm the most militant dude. I got more militant people in my family. Like I let them lead the way with that. And I respect their knowledge for that. But this is an age-old tactic. He wants out. Well, here's the one thing we know about guys that look like him, have reputations like him, and what he stood for 25 years, as far as we've seen in our eye.
Right.
All we got to do is find a way. Like, why now? So I want to let it be known. If he did it, because that's the other thing that gets lost in this, Chris. We're taught innocent till proven guilty.
Correct.
Is now guilty till proven innocent at the end of the day.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I always feel like they're always trying to get a little bit back for OJ. Because at the end of the day, that's how far I can go back. OJ was acquitted.
Yep. But then he lost his ass in the civil case.
He did run up. And I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't going to lie to you. The Palace Station is a very nice place for me. I win money there all the time. I run all up in OJ's spot. That's all I'm saying. OJ went ballistic in that joint and went to jail. Okay, so neither here nor there. But the tactic, and this is the thing. So I was talking to Chris that I had seen a couple articles like here and there. It's such an interesting dynamic that we're in because this whole cancel culture thing where, it's about just saying, well, if that's that, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, they've tried to cancel everybody. The only guy that can't seem to cancel is Dave Chappelle, which is hilarious, by the way, in itself. So we sit here with this, and I feel for these women that have gone through something. Because I would never, I have nieces. I hope to have a daughter. I have a wife. I would never want them to go through anything like that where they felt uncomfortable in some sort of way. But I'll say this. Why is this all coming out when he wants out?
Dude,
He's been doing this 21. So you're telling me that all 21 of these things happened just now? My thing is that if he's guilty of it, go. Like, why do we even make it this? Why do we make it this type of, circus? I feel for these women, like they're a circus now. Like it's a circus. And I haven't been to the circus in a long ass time. But I tell you right now, last time I went to the circus, the shit ton of noise, Chris.
Let me hit you with this real quick. So
I don't know how to get off of that point, man. Like,
no,
I feel for these women, but dude, like, we're talking about the McNairs, man. The prisoners can't run the asylum. The asylum, excuse me, not the asylum. Prisoners can't run the asylum. And guess what? All he wanted
was out.
Was to run his asylum a little bit.
That's
like
it.
Other quarterbacks that he's seen. He's following modes that he's seen. Peyton Manning had a say and who played at Indianapolis. Tom Brady had a say who came to New England. Believe it or not.
And Tampa.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady has a say. Russell Wilson is now exercising his right to have a say. You don't think Joe Montana had a say? You don't think Jerry Rice and Steve Young and him was like, go get Dion? And then Jerry Jones said, we're going to take him right back. Players run their asylums in the right ways. There was no more beautiful marriage in indoor football, in my opinion, than the marriage when it worked between Mike Parnell, Haran O'Neal, and Chris Dixon. That was a beautiful thing to be a part of because I'm a part of the asylum. And when you earn their trust, you got to be part of the asylum. I got to call plays in games that won us games. So what I'm saying is when man, look, I don't know the history of the McNairs, but I know how old Bob McNair was before he died. That dude was 90 years old. Okay. So that dude was born in 1920 something. Okay, Chris,
No, you're good. Let me hit you with this because this story
ping pong here and there.
This story kind of hits close to home somewhat. So for those of you who know me, you kind of know my past and everything else. And for those of you who don't, it's now, if we had the money to do like graphics and everything, I would be like, it's story time, and then like the rainbow and story time and all that. I don't know how to do all that. So I was at an institution of higher learning, and this is to bring this full circle of what Old South money can do for you. I was at an institution of higher learning. I'm not going to bring up the name. I'll just let you read into it, whatever you want to. Institution of higher learning in the South where there's like tons and tons of Old South money. I got into a little altercation on campus of which a fight happened. Somebody lost that fight very badly to the point of where criminal charges should have been brought up. All of that disappeared. No record, no anything from that aspect. All of it disappeared. There was weapons involved. Young man went to the hospital for a very long time. And one man went to practice. And it never hit the sports center. It never hit anything of any kind of ramifications whatsoever. That's what Old South money does for you. Old South money can make things disappear. And if you rock the boat, Old South money can make things reappear. Now, I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm not claiming what happened with me is the same thing that happened with him, because sexual assault and assault are two different things. But at the same time, with the right people running the asylum, they can make things happen. Now, this show, me and Walt are friends based off of our love of stupidity. And our love of stupidity is based off of stupidity, and jokes have a layer of truth inside of them. Now, with all that being said, Dave Chappelle, who is one of our, I can honestly say probably is our favorite comedian, said he's a victim blamer. I kind of am too. Not to the aspect of, oh, what'd you do to make him do that? No, not to that point. To the point of civil cases are had because, and most of them, civil cases are had mostly to get money.
Yeah.
And if you are that sexually assaulted and you feel as though sexual misconduct has ruined your life, then why are you not pursuing criminal charges? So this is now starting, like he said, like this is starting to be a circus to the point where you don't really give a damn about what's going on. You just want to ruin this man's reputation enough so that nobody takes a chance on him, or they take a value chance on him. And that's it. And you get some money in your pocket. Now, the numbers, go ahead.
Yeah, just to add to yours, because what you were talking about is true. So it makes you wonder, and especially the guy that is obviously, Tony Busby, who's all in the news and history. But it makes you wonder, like, at the end of the day, lawyers are expensive. So
Yep.
who's paying Tony's fees?
Exactly.
Back to you, sorry.
So,
because I'm going to jump on Deshaun. I'm going to jump on Deshaun after your point, because Deshaun needs to be. We're going to probably feel the same way about Deshaun here in a minute, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, granted, I'm not. All right, that's a lie. I am a Deshaun Watson fan. No, I didn't like him at Clemson because of that damn illegal pick play that they ran that beat Alabama. Yes, Alabama ran the same pick play a couple series before. Whatever. I am a fan of the man because I'm a fan of anything black. This is I don't call it what it is. But I'm a fan of the man, of what he had to endure and come through. Like, yeah, I make jokes that if Bork Dunn would have never built a habitat for homes and he would have been out on the street, then he never would have been Clemson's quarterback. I make jokes about all that, but it takes a great man, a great individual, to strive through all that, to being homeless, to just you, your mom, and your brothers, to go through high school and become a top-tier quarterback, to go through college, graduate, lead at that time, a non-powerhouse school against a juggernaut that Alabama is and was, and to get that W. And I wasn't even trying to toot Alabama's horn on that. Like, at that time, Alabama was it. And if you don't beat Alabama at that time, we probably run off a couple straight. But he took a bunch of 4-star, 3-star guys and maybe 1 or 2 5-stars, and you beat the juggernaut. Like, you beat the big bad wolf. You went to the league and you got a A- defense and a C- offense, and you made shit happen. You were doing things in the community for Houston. And don't get me wrong, I love Houston to death, but there's parts of Houston that are a shithole. But he's there doing things for the community because that's how he grew up, and he wants better things for everybody else. All that being said, if any of this is true, dude, you're worth $160 million. You mean to tell me you couldn't fly a chick in and just like, hey, yo, listen, here's your cut. This is what you do. I'll fly you in after every game. You do what you do. I'll fly you back out. Go ahead.
I mean, you gave me a great segue into this. D-Watt. Bruh. We got to talk about you.
Yeah. Not just around him.
I'm one of your biggest fans. I am. What you do on the field, if my kid ever wanted to play quarterback, he would watch tape of the play you made versus Buffalo. That play in itself is what any football player wants to have, that type of highlight where that play makes their teammates go, I'll die for this dude.
Yep.
I pray to God that throughout my career, especially in those championship years, I think more than any, I always hope there was a play that did that for my guys, because I know I didn't really necessarily relate with all my teammates all the time outside of, Walt knows where to get drunk. But I always wanted them to know that I would do anything to win a football game for them. And I almost get emotional, talking about that, because that play to me summed him up as a man. It's one of the best football plays I've ever seen, ever seen. And the fact that he's given to people in that organization, he's paid salaries for people.
Mm-hmm.
When they went out, Deshaun Watson was paying salaries when Corona hit for the stadium workers. So I will say this to you, because somebody said, and I think it might have been Skip Bayless, who I have a bone to pick with based on some things he said the other day. But, I think that's just Skip being Skip. He's going to troll because his job is to get ratings.
That's what he does.
I shout out all those on Black Twitter that said, oh, that's what they paid Skip $32 million to do. But Deshaun, why do we have 39 different massage therapists corroborating the story? Bro. Shannon Sharp said, he was like, I had one massage therapist for my Hall of Fame career. Like, even if you did nothing with all 39 of these women, guilty. This is what's killing me. If it would have been like 3 or 4, like, all right, like now we can 39, like.
Let me say something real quick, then I'll let you keep going.
Yeah, go ahead. We can, because we have to look here, man. Listen. This is the part where this is the only funny part of this, because there's nothing funny about sexual misconduct.
No.
But 39, Chris, 39 massage therapists. I don't think I've had 39 massages in my lifetime.
So at school, I had like a girl to massage me or whatever. But like, it was one. Like it wasn't a girlfriend or anything like that, but it was like one. So like
America, let's let it be known. I mean, this is the pre-Saban era. So obviously it was I mean, don't get me wrong, it was an SEC school, but Alabama was like who always be 7-5, 5-6 in the conference now? Tennessee, who's that team now?
Mississippi State, Ole Miss.
Mississippi State. Alabama was Mississippi State back then. Okay,
Pretty much.
I always got to take my shot at the 5-star guy, because they were not good.
No, we were not.
They were getting drubbed.
Listen, here's the thing. Here was the goal at Alabama at that time. If you beat all 3 Mississippi schools, that was the season, because we knew LSU game was not going to happen.
So wait, if you beat all 3 Mississippi schools, what are you talking about? Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Tulane?
Southern Miss. Because Southern Miss is always on the schedule.
You guys just play Southern Miss, okay.
Yeah, Southern Miss is always on the schedule. So if you beat all 3 Mississippi schools, like there's a song that we sing after we beat all 3 of them and everything else and blah, blah, blah. So
how many times did that happen, by the way?
I did it once.
Hey, he only had to sing that song once. Hey.
I'm not dealing with you. This how shit goes left so quick.
I'm sorry, America. This is serious, but that shit's funny because I know. Listen, I know how bad they were because I feel like the last time I even want to do anything with Alabama was when they had Freddie Mullins, and that's way before Chris's time.
Hey, but beating
Freddie
all
Mullins
three
and Sean Alexander, that was the last time, and then all of a sudden Nick Saban showed up. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
And that's the thing, like, all right, so beating all three Mississippi schools was an achievement. You weren't beating LSU at that time. Auburn, not really. And then the Tennessee game was honestly a toss-up. Like, so we didn't have A&M at that time. There was no Missouri. You played Georgia, and Georgia was always going to be a tough game. And then the South Carolina.
Those were good Rick years, too.
Right. And then the South Carolina game was a toss-up. Like, so there was no guaranteed win week to week. So 6-6, 7-5.
Not back then.
So like it was
dude, you know what? That was a good time in the SEC. That was like, what team feels like running the conference this year? Because you never knew who it was going to be.
No.
It could be Auburn. It could be Tennessee. It could be Florida.
Yep.
Could be Georgia. I can tell you who it wasn't in them Chris Turner years. It was not Alabama.
I got nothing. Okay. I can't even shoot back. I got nothing.
So understand, this is the school with the most national championships. Even when he was there, they had like damn near the most top 5.
We had 12. History. Yeah, we had 12
national championships. And this dude is a 5-star transfer, a Bobby Bowden recruit, okay?
Yeah.
And this dude had one massage therapist at Tuscaloosa, which I know is Southern White for football.
Yeah.
That's what it stands for. There's not a person that hears Tuscaloosa and goes, you know what? I want to play some lacrosse. Tennis, anyone? Never. Tuscaloosa is Southern Caucasian for football now. That's what it means. Period. So I have to look at Deshaun Watson and I have to go, dude, you a good looking dude.
Yep.
Who just signed a crazy contract. And then you say, I want out after 1 year of an old ass white dude giving you a shit ton of money. This is the same. Look, okay. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm just go ahead and get us canceled.
Just do it.
I similarly said this when we talked about Harry and Meghan. You didn't think they was gonna get you too?
Man, listen.
It's kicking in. Like there's a lot of angles to this Deshaun Watson where I just.
No, it is honestly because I didn't even look at it from a point of there's 39 different women. I didn't even look at it from that point. Let me bring out the hood side of it. Like, dude, you worth $160 million that you just signed for. So that's not even accounting what you already had.
And they already gave him. You know what? No, we need to make sure the stat is correct. Hold on.
So you check that out. I'm gonna run on those. So you worth $100 million on the low right now. You in Houston, which is, in Chris Turner's opinion, a top 5 strip club city in the United States. We'll do the whole top 5 on another show when my kid's not around. But it's a top 5 location for exotic dancers. You're in the town where there's a crap ton of rappers. Like you couldn't find something like 39 women. 39? So there wasn't one chick who you couldn't have put through massage therapy school at Massage Envy to do this for you? Come on, man.
I got it, Chris.
Go ahead.
So out of that $160 million, which is also something I've talked about on this show, and I'm the only person. Let me make sure I got my camera, so I'm looking dead at my camera before I go back to stats. I am the only person in this medium, in this entire medium, that talks about how terrible that deal is. I'm still harping on this generation of woke athlete. and how they blew it. And they had the Corona times. If they could have.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm so glad I got Screwball back in my life for a little bit while I'm doing these shows. I talked about this. This is their own fault. Deshaun, this is your fault. But here's the bottom line, Chris. Out of that 160 million, 74 million of it is guaranteed. It's basically half the salary. That's basically half his money. He's already.
So let me run this at you then. If 74 million comes from the Houston Texans, he signed with Nike, so Nike's gonna give him at least 30. So now you're above $100 million. All right.
Before he took a snap this year.
Yeah, you're at 100 million before you even take a snap. Then I'm guaranteed, I don't know all the sponsors, but I'm guaranteed there's like 4 or 5 more. So now you're like, 115, 120.
Well, if he was going to be the next Dannon guy over Dak, that's over. He ain't getting yo play.
Oh,
whatever
that's
done. Dak was doing.
But even
that right on Dak.
Even with the yo play money, you might have been at like 120, 125 before you even throw a pass. You mean to tell me you couldn't have found some chick? You could have texted me and I could have told you where to go in Houston.
That's hilarious.
But you're worth 125 before you even say hut, before you call an audible. And 39 women. You're not, out of 39 of them, you're not going to beat all of this. Like, granted, 18 of them, I believe, said he was a good guy, didn't do anything. So now you're down to 21, roughly 50%.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat this, big dog.
Yeah. And let's just go ahead and say what it is. And I'm sorry, America, because I know that this show is meant for everybody. In case you forgot, N-word, you black. You not Ben Roethlisberger.
No.
They won't just casually forget in a couple years when you put up MVP numbers.
This will be brought up every time you do anything.
Ask Kobe. And guess what? Kobe was proven innocent. And guess what? By his actions, whether he did what he did or he didn't do, even Kobe couldn't fully rest in peace.
No.
Because who could blame that family for feeling what they felt and what they wrote and said, everybody's celebrating this dude, but he did this to me. This is your life. You're 25 years old, man. The world is yours. You were destined to win a Super Bowl. And I don't blame you. You should have won it out. But you got to understand the dynamic of what you and Deshaun Watson. This is the NFL. This is the last bit of mentality in sports there is.
Thank you.
And it will be the last sport that breaks it. And you guys can't even do anything about it until 2030.
Dumbass.
None of you. It was COVID. You had it. Like the world needed you, and we're grateful that we had football and it went off basically without a hitch. But I'd have been right here on our podcast where I've got to sponsor us by buying $1,000 worth of whiskey. And I'd have been defending y'all all day. Trust me, because I have some friends that are damn near zealots when it comes to certain things and what they believe. And I have to go, yeah, but it's wrong. And they are the most underpaid, undertaken care of athlete in all the major sports.
By far.
It's not even close. So the dynamic for me, it's even bigger, than this, and why he's in the situation he's in. Because trust me, if I could find a way, if I was a businessman and I have to give you $75 million, and then you said, I'm out, Oh, I'm gonna find a way to make sure that you suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no telling what he did. We know now that charges have now been filed with the Houston Police Department, but these are still civil cases.
Exactly.
And that's the point Chris is trying to make. And it's not us demeaning what Deshaun Watson has done or what these women feel like. But if it was that serious,
Criminal charges.
Okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do this.
Please do it.
Seriously, this might disown me for my entire family, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell the truth. I think you might know where I'm going. Don't Daniel Bryan me. Dude, he's gonna pop so big. I cannot wait to watch on Sunday. He's gonna pop so big.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Bang bang.
Yeah, dude, listen. And this is the epitome of beating a broken man. And I don't mean to bring this back up because he's obviously served his time. He has. Because we haven't seen or heard from this dude since. But if there is a video you're going to make me do it, aren't you? All right. If there is a video of Ray Rice punching his wife and nothing happened outside of him not being able to play football anymore, what are we doing here? Because that was assault.
Yep.
And I'm happy that they're happy. I think with Ray, I think that was really a one-time thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he just was like, and he realized, like, what did I just do? You know what I'm saying? But, and I hate this, it's a grim thing. I don't know how else to, and I feel like we're in such a shock value country now, based on what our leadership has been.
Yep.
People want that back. So we're really sensationalizing everything because we're either happy he's gone or happy that he's or pissed off that he's gone. Whatever I see, because that's all I see is, oh, I want to go. I saw something today. I want to go. I miss America. I was like, what America you miss? It's still the same bullshit it's been since I was born in '83.
Me too.
Ain't been different or worse, better or worse since that dude was in office. I'm a Reagan baby. Get the fuck out here.
Baby.
Okay. And I can tell you right now, it was even worse for our parents. And think about your mom in the South at her age. So I want to tell anybody that is listening to the sound of my voice, and y'all keep talking about missing America, miss me with that shit. Like, just miss me with it. Okay? I would say you need to go listen to Childish Gambino on repeat. For about.
This is America, man.
Don't catch you slipping, though. And you know what, Deshaun Watson? They caught you slipping, bro. I'm disappointed. And it's like that disappointment that you like tell your kid. Like, I'm sure Chris has used this on Zoe. Zoe, this is on wax. But it's the truth because you've done it to him.
Yes.
So I'm just a little disappointed that you would.
You could have done better. You could have done better.
Here's the best part about this, though. Here's the other thing that America does love, though, especially from a man of color. Redemption. So I'm going to, through all this, bring it back to the sports hole. Deshaun Watson will win a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. I don't know where it's going to be. I know it ain't going to be in Houston. Because if we find out where the money trail of all this is coming from, like if we really want to be gotcha journalists in this era and do all this, Chris.
Find out where that money come from.
How are all these women affording all this lawyer time? Is Tony doing this for free? See, like there's so many elements. Like all I know is everybody's wrong in this. Deshaun Watson's wrong. The women being exploited in this, all 39 of them, it's wrong that these women are being exploited. They are, Chris. That's what's happening.
Dude, I'm gonna say my piece on it and then I'll leave it.
I think we need to get off this because I could talk about this all night.
Yeah.
We got all night. And I want to get back to happier stuff, but I this has been built up in me for 2 weeks. I think I've done a good enough job of getting enough of it out because this is not over.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if you got one, but I just thought of mine and it should have been done. For those of you who don't know, like me and my family, I have been going through some things on this end, so that's why the show's really been up there.
I was gonna leave it alone because I didn't want to,
It's fine. Like I'm not gonna go in detail about it, but like me and my family,
both of our families
been going through some things, from the Montana part to the Florida part. So that's why that's a big reason why the show's kind of been in hiatus. But saying all that brings me to this. I'm gonna go into my give me a minute. I'm out of my water and everything. I'm gonna keep it short because I'm trying to keep these shows short. That make sure that with America's attention span, we
plus
can get you
do need to go make dinner, and
I'm
ready for you if you come back. I ain't got nothing but time tonight, so I don't know. If you text me, America, you might see a third show.
America, give me a minute. It's a two-part, and I'm gonna be quick with it. It's rare to find good friends in life. It's rare to find a partner and everything like that. It's rare to find like good people, and like I have a decent surrounding around me right now. When I say that Walt was like one of the main folks, is like, hey man, don't worry about it. We good. Like you need anything, everything all right. Now, you can say like, oh, that's what a friend is supposed to do. Yeah, I agree that. Here's the second part of why it was special. It was his man's birthday. And on this man's birthday, he checking in on me and mine because of what was going on his birthday. Mind you, shit-faced drunk. but he still checked in as a man, as a friend, as a brother, and was just like, yo, you need anything, man, just take your time. Give me a call, shoot me a message. I ain't doing nothing but drinking, bro, so I can sit here and listen. So, like, on his birthday, because on my birthday, hell, we did a show, and he let me ramble for an hour or whatever. That's just what we did. And that was my intention to do on his birthday, because I wanted him to be blackout drunk and just let him ramble for an hour and we just get it out. But because of what I had going on, he still checked in. Like he was like, oh, if you need anything, whatever it is, man, y'all take y'all time. Make sure she's okay. Make sure your folks okay. Like make sure the girls are okay. So as a man, I say thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Like I deal with death in a completely different way than everybody else does because I grew up around it, and I'm not mute. I'm not tone deaf to it, but like, and I hate to say it the way it's gonna come out, I'm not used to it, but I kind of am. But everybody around me isn't. So with all that being said, I appreciate you, fam. Like it was noticed, it was appreciated, and it was loved, and I appreciate it. So America, my give me a minute is a salute to my brother, and I appreciate you, fam.
Man, hey, I appreciate that, man. And Cal and I were thinking about you, and I might as well do mine and get this out. I mean, it was on both sides. So America, give me a minute. While Chris was going through everything, and Callie's mom lost her mom at literally the same time, which was crazy. It was absolutely nuts that it was happening the way it happened. And, to the Bennett family, I know that, there's some things I guarantee none of you guys will probably ever hear this because, I don't know if it's,
Sorry.
I don't know if it's anything that where they're like, hey, we're going to listen to Callie's husband talk on the internet. But You know, but to the Bennett's, you know, obviously my condolences. I wish I could have been there. Circumstances, I couldn't be there. Would have loved to have been there to my love and Lou. Lou was a very nice lady. You know, I'd known Lou for 3 years. Callie's grandmother. She was always very nice to me. Very respectful. That's all you can ever ask in life, America. Doesn't matter, you know, with all this stuff. We're talking about Deshaun Watson, these things like this is the bottom truth, the bottom line truth. And I think for me and how I try to live my life and who I am, I'm going to always be respectful and kind to those that show me the same in jest. And Lou was always very kind. And for me, I know how much my mother, I don't even like to say mother-in-law, but I know how much my mom, you know, was going through with everything. And Mama Pomeroy, I love you. And I know how much Lou meant to you. Obviously, you know, I couldn't imagine if Sarah, you know, decided to skirt out before this wedding. I know for a fact there wouldn't be any shows for a while. I would need a minute. And she's old as shit. But, you know, at the end of the day, I would need some time. So just to the Bennett family, you know, from me and from my side, the Waltons and the Hellmans, you know, my mother and father definitely sent their condolences. And I want to do that here on the air as well. And just remind everybody, you know, no matter what's going on in this world, understand that you may stand for things and it's all well and good, but it's really important to really understand what's going on for the things you stand for. And I appreciate Chris for saying that. I didn't prompt him to that. I didn't even know he was going to do that. But I've known Arist just about as long as I've known Chris. And I've had great interactions with Papa LaFount, man. He was always a good dude. And just knowing the things that Chris goes through, I know that that dude was solid for Chris and for Arist. You know, he was solid. And what we have to always think about, no matter in our actions and what's going on in the world, and when we see things posted about this and that, and we can all be political and we can all be, you know, nationalist, whatever, with our race, our skin, our tone, our political beliefs, society, or whatever. Don't ever forget that there's 9 and 10-year-old kids that have to see these things. So Zoe, this is a love letter to you. I love you. Your parents got you. Your granddaddy's looking out from above. And also to Annie, to Harper, to Lily, to Tucker, and to, of course, my favorite middle child, Lexi. You know, Lou loved you with all her heart. And always know that, you know, that it's good to, you know, it's sad to go through these things, but, you know, it's without being corny, it's a circle of life, you know what I mean? And you just know that you've got 2 eyes up above you, you know, Zoe with your grandpa and girls and T3 with your grandma looking out for you and making sure nothing happens to you. I think that's why I know my life has been blessed, because I've only got my grandy left. And I know I've had 6 set of eyes looking out for me for a long time. It's gotten us here. So, man, dude, I didn't know you were gonna do that, man. You almost had me crying. I'm trying to save these tears to July, because you know I'm gonna be crying like a bitch at this wedding.
So with all that being said, sorry we got a little heavy on you. Sorry we got a little emotional on this one, but man, you gotta love your loved ones and love them while you can. Wow. So with all that being said, this is still the greatest podcast known to man. I am C. Turner, aka the Macho Man, Chris Savage. That is Big Game James, J. Madison Walton III, J3.
AKA the voice of the voiceless, aka Chicago made, aka CM Punk of this broadcast. Go ahead, Chris.
Also, you also talking to the future voices of the Arena Football League, Indoor Football League. Y'all need to make that shit happen. Anyway, with all that being said, Ty, make that happen. Hey, we'll have you on the show and we'll put you on the spot.
Hey, and I want to, while we're doing that, Chris Dixon, shout out for the comments there, because I know you and James great competitors. So
Yep.
anytime a Hall of Famer chimes in when we've got legends coming on, I think that's a great thing. So Chris, we appreciate you always, CD5. Thank you, dude, for those comments on that. We'll keep them coming, man. We've got a list. So I got a couple more guys I want to talk to. Chris agreed with it. I think it's two positions that he still hates.
Yep.
But these next two guys, they're getting messages and text here. But I want to do a profile on them, man, and just talk about them and give them some praise. So
with all that being said, this is the greatest podcast known to man. I got to go make dinner. It's late, and then I got to go to Walmart too.
Oh, you got to go to Walmart?
Yeah, she just reminded me I got to go to Walmart because she got something she got to do with her headphones tomorrow. So I got to go pick up some more headphones.
Fair. You can do some thing. So this is me hoping maybe a third one comes off tonight because we'll see what happens. I don't have to wake up till 5, so that's late for me.
Hey, so the same thing we ask you every night is the same thing we're gonna ask you right now, and that is, what's good, America?
What's good, America?